Hello guys, welcome to this video. I am so excited to show you how I got this hairstyle using not one, but two different hair tools, a waver and a curling iron to achieve this look that you see here. If you guys are new around here, my name is Kimber Kelly. I am the face behind Revival Beauty, formerly known as Rustic Touch Beauty. I have been a cosmetologist for nearly 15 years and have been specializing in makeup and skincare for probably the past 8 years. Hair is definitely still my first love, but I'm just really passionate about all things self-care. I'm a mom to four, I homeschool, so I'm home a lot. I'm a homebody, and this is just a fun outlet for me to teach you guys everything that I've learned over my years in the beauty industry and hopefully teach you how to do these simple beauty self-care tips all in the comfort of your own home. So it's going to be a good video today. Let's dive in. Before I get started, I love to section my hair and work in sections. I'm not one of those people that can just start curling, work from the top, go through here. No, I have to have really clear, obvious sections of hair that I'm working in so that the hairstyle turns out how I want it. And so I'm going to just use regular old hair clippies here, and we're just keeping that out of the way so that I'm left with just kind of this right here. I basically took that first section from here and worked it back. First tool that I'm using is this little waver from Bedhead. This thing is so cool. When I got my hair super short, I thought, shoot, I'm not going to be able to use this anymore. But I've managed to make it work, and I absolutely love this. So the reason why for this hairstyle in particular, I am using the waver on the bottom half of my hair. The hairstylist who cuts my hair, he actually taught me this trick with a flat iron. So he showed me how to do this with a flat iron, which is super doable, but also way easier to do with a tool like this. So if you're not coordinated in using a flat iron to get a wave, this is definitely a good spot to start with. And you can see I'm not getting all my hair in there, but it doesn't matter because this is on the bottom, so nobody's going to see it anyways. We're just kind of doing the best we can to get some initial texture throughout here. But he showed me this little trick because it adds such a good amount of body throughout your hair. So if you are someone who is really wanting to get more body, more volume, this would be a good route for you to go so that your hair doesn't sit so flat. And like I said, you're not going to really tell that this is happening underneath, but it's going to create a lot more fullness in your hair. Instead of holding the curling iron this way where the little clamp thingy is on top, I actually turn it and I clamp it with my thumb so it sits on the bottom. The reason I turn it this way is because the first barrel on here is actually going to bump the hair that's closest to my root. It's going to bump it up and out. Instead, if I were to do it this way where I'm clamping where this part is on top, it's actually going to bring the hair in, and so it'll actually flatten it. So I want the hair to be bumped up and out for this first section, which is why instead of having it this way, I flip it and now that part is on the bottom. Just for a little extra tip when it comes to placement and volume and all the things. So I don't hold it in there for too long because you don't need to. Clearly it does this. Don't touch it. Don't run your fingers through it. Literally just let that piece cool down, and then you can work your fingers through it to get it how you want it. Also really fast, I have the temperature at 380. I have about fine medium texture, but I have a lot of hair, and so I don't want to go too much hotter than that. If you have just fine hair, then don't have it that hot. But if you've got kind of medium thick texture like I do, you would be fine with the temperature at that rate. And so I'm just going around and clamping the hair that will fit. Again, we're not leaving it in there for too long. Keep that out of there. okay? And literally just leave it. I know you're gonna want to touch it because you're gonna be like, it feels funky, but literally leave it. Don't touch it, let it cool all the way down. I'm gonna take one more section kind of right at my temples, and we're gonna do that section, and then we're gonna switch tools, and I'm gonna show you how I finish this look off. So continue in the same pattern, just wave, wave, wave. Notice how I don't have this like right up against my head. I'm giving some room in there, and it's because I'm trying to account for, see this little bit that's left here. So this doesn't have it over here. And so I'm trying to account for that by what I'm doing up here, if that makes sense. So I started it out like not right up against my head. We kind of left it out a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna switch gears. We're gonna put the clamp, little waver away, and we're gonna move into just a regular curling iron. This is a 1-inch curling iron. This is Hot Tools. It's not my favorite curling iron because this gets stuck a lot, and that drives me nuts. So not my most favorite tool. Maybe it just needs some oil in it. I don't know. But 1 inch is what I'm going to be working with today just to give looser curls. I am going to pull back one more section that out so that I can focus on this section that's below. And so we're just going to do kind of simple beach waves. But I do it a little differently since I do have short hair. So I don't start clear up here. I actually kind of start about midway through, and I wrap it once, hold it, and then I kind of walk the curling iron down so that this piece right here flips out right where I want it. Next section, I am actually just doing these all the same way. Sometimes, depending on the look that I want, I'll alternate the direction that those curls go in, but for this look, I want them all going the same way. And I work in about 1 inch wide sections too. The wider you go, the looser the curl will be, and then the skinnier you go, the skinnier the curls will be. So again, it just all depends on that final look that you're going for. And I'm actually gonna pull this hair kind of forward like this, and we're starting midway. Turn once, let it set for a second, and then we're coming all the way down like that. This is where you're gonna feel funky, but we're actually just going to like curl those up old school like that, and we let them sit. I'll usually do this to let them cool down. you'll feel like, what is happening? What is happening with these bangs? But you want it to do that. You want it to cool down just like that because it's going to give like a really subtle curl to the bang. Let it cool, and then you can bring the bangs down. Now this is the fun part because this is where you can finally go in and texture that hair and run your fingers through it, and this is where it like takes its shape of what you're wanting. So you can already see, look at all the body that it has from having those waves underneath, and you would never know. So if you want just kind of that spiral look, but you're wanting a lot of body throughout the bob, just put some of those waves on the bottom and you'll have so much volume. Let me show you how I finish this look off because no look is complete without hair product, of course. Yes, you could leave it here, but it would start to fall and not do what you want it to do. So let me show you a few products that I use just to give it texture and movement, but also hold. First product I use is the Aquage Spray Wax. This stuff is incredible. I discovered it a few years ago. It gives the most amazing texture. I love Aquage brands. If you missed my video right before this, I showed how I prep my hair while it's still wet in order to get volume and movement, all the things. So definitely check that video out if you're wondering what I used before this. But in total, to create the look that you see here, I've used 4 products in my hair. So 2 dry and 2 while my hair was wet. So this is just texture. You can see I like to go in and kind of add some more volume up here. And if I'm like, that still needs more, then we can go in with more. We're going for just like an effortless, messy, like it doesn't need to be uniformed. That's not what we're going for here. We just want something that, again, looks like we spent hardly any time at all, but it has movement, it has texture in it. This is your go-to hairstyle. And then for the bangs, I want my bangs to have movement to it, but I don't want them to be super stiff. So I've actually been trying out this hairspray. This is the Session Spray Flex from Kevin Murphy. I just have the small travel size because I wanted to give it a go, and I love it. It actually reminds me of a hairspray called Control Force that Aveda has, where it's super light. You can still work with the hair, you can still change it. It's not completely stiff. This is a really good one so that you have hold, but you can still feel like your hair has movement. You don't feel like you're just this like object that's moving around and your hair is just perfectly moving with it. Any product that I use, I want it to allow my hair to still have movement to it. I don't want it to be so stiff that I just feel like I'm like a robot with it. So this hairspray is really good because it keeps my bangs nice and light, but it keeps hold. Like there's still hold in my bangs. So if I don't want separation like that to my bangs, you can take a comb and just like slightly run those through. We will just do kind of like a curtain, a side curtain to these. What do these want to do today? Something like that. Okay, so I still have movement, but those are not going to be flopping in my eyes all day long because that drives me nuts with bangs when I feel like I don't want them short, I want them longer, but they're stabbing my eyeballs. This kind of helps keep them right out of my eyes. And then I'll go through and just add a little bit of that around my hair so that my hair has hold and those curls don't fall out too soon. And there you have it. Kind of cute, right? If you're on the fence about getting bangs with a bob, I highly recommend. Unless you have a cowlick, you're just gonna have to work a little bit harder. Again, in that other video, I do show how I dry my bangs even with a cowlick so that my bangs don't want to split right where my cowlick is. Definitely check that out if you're struggling with a cowlick while having bangs. There is nothing more frustrating. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Hair is just my first love. I love it. It's fun getting new haircuts. It's fun trying to style differently with different tools. There's just a lot of versatility to it. So hope you guys learned something. Thank you for tuning in, and definitely be sure to like, subscribe, comment, follow me on Instagram, all the things so you can get to know me a little bit better and find out who I am behind these videos. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.